ever in Gainesville. So just
why you looking at me?
No reason whatsoever. No, none whatsoever.
Been a tough year.
No,
man.
I know you. Yeah, no.
Hey, congrats to Tennessee for sure. I mean, that literally they were intent on what they were going to do today and handle business.
Slay ever stop texting you?
No, I'm still getting texts from Slay right now.
All right, we got a couple more games to show you, and we got a big Week 14 to look ahead. South Carolina, they know they got Clemson coming to Columbia next week. Coastal Carolina, though, first. Gamecocks trying to snap a 5-game losing streak. Lenora Sellers, that's his brother, Jayden Sellers. Oh, look at Jayden Sellers go. Just a freshman, just a pup.
Celebrate, celebrate. Hey, this is gonna be great Thanksgiving at the Sellers house this week, because Lenore's gave his brother everything today. They gave him the turkey, gave him the mac and cheese, gave him everything.
And you know what Jayden gave Lenore's? A whole bunch more passing.
Yeah, I mean, those were behind the line of scrimmage.
Lenore's thing. This time he's like, okay, dude, I'm going to keep this one. You got one, I got one. They're up 13-0. Both Sellers had massive games. In fact, Lenore's 2 rushing touchdowns, 2 passing touchdowns, all in the first half. See how long it's been since somebody's done that? You got to go back 23 years. Jayden Sellers goes over 140 yards receiving. This was a big-time performance by the Sellers family. And finally, the skid is over for Shane Beamer's team. LSU home for Western Kentucky, and the 8-2 Hilltoppers gave them a little more than they wanted, folks. 3-zip toppers. Ooh, fancy little Michael Van Buren to Tradez Green. First down on 4th and 1. 2 plays later, the 2 will connect for a touchdown. Ooh, threw it behind. Good play, though.
He's 6'7" tight end.
How big? How big?
He's 6'7".
He's how big?
6'7".
Okay, good.
Love to get him 6 or 7 more receptions. Targets.
Rodney Tisdale.
Defense did everything they could tonight. Luckily for the offense, the defense did not give up much and had a couple takeaways as well.
DJ Pickett there with the INT, and then Tisdale. Now, not pictured here. This was on 4th and 15, no game. Western Kentucky up 3-0. They try a little throwback to the quarterback Tisdale, and he's all alone, and it hits him in the hands, and he drops it. It would have been 10-0.
Look at this. You're trying to put the game on ice.
Still can't ice it.
Western Kentucky would not be iced.
Ice it.
Yeah, exactly.
No more ice references. We're not talking about ice.
True.
Onside kick. Last chance for the Toppers. Oof. Caught nicely on the onsides. One hopper there. Tigers win at 13-10 over Western Kentucky. They go to Norman next week. Meanwhile, in unrelated news, but, well, I don't know if it is. Who knows if it is? Maybe it is related. Whenever they play at OU, maybe they'll know if Lane Kiffin's going to be their coach. Lane Kiffin's decision expected after the Egg Bowl. The Egg Bowl is Friday. Right, yeah, game is Friday. I'm going to remember all these Friday, Saturday games, but that's what he told his AD, Keith Carter. Apparently, an announcement is coming. He's staying at Ole Miss. He's going to LSU. He's going to Florida. In the meantime, they're sitting here trying to win next weekend because a loss may KO them.
Lost, they're out.
I would think so.
Especially if there's a question about who's going to be coaching the team going forward.
Which the committee can take into consideration.
I hate that we're dealing with this. I've heard a lot of Ole Miss people say, he's going to make the announcement that he's staying and everybody's going to charge into the postseason. I love the dramatics, but I hope that's not the case because you mess around here in this ballgame. We know what the Egg Bowl is like. Crazy stuff happens here. You're going into Starkville. I think this is a very scary spot for the Ole Miss.
I absolutely hate the dramatics. I hate the drama. Like, why are we dealing with this? This is the football team that's had their best season that they've probably ever had at Ole Miss, have an opportunity to make the playoff, have an opportunity to perhaps go in a national championship. Who knows what happens when you get into the tournament, how you're going to play. But yet, the dominating headline is about where the head coach is going to go. Now, look, everybody has an opportunity and a right to go coach and play wherever they want to play. I'm not saying that, but the way this has been handled in the media by a lot of different stakeholders does not bode well for Ole Miss as they go play this rivalry game, or for these players as they prepare to play, into the postseason. Like this shouldn't be something that is taking over all of the headlines in college football, where Coach Kiffin, where Lane Kiffin is going to go.
Not to mention, by the way, whether you're any of these 3 schools, like, you're going to get an answer, but if you're Florida and he doesn't come there, you go to Plan B. If you're LSU and he doesn't go there, you got to go to Plan B. What's Plan B? And if you're Ole Miss and he does leave, where now with so many incredible jobs still vacated.
How about the evil genius plan? If,
Yeah.
in fact, you know how far you could set Florida and LSU back
That's a good
if you
point.
drug this along and then decided to stay at Ole Miss? I mean, maybe there is some master plan here in place, but the bottom line is the college football calendar sucks. The facts that we're dealing with high school recruiting and the transfer portal, all while the most important part of the season's going on, and what that makes coaches do in terms of deciding their future, something has to change with this.
But why does it suck? Well, it sucks because we wanted to get, quarterbacks into, spring practice. We wanted them to graduate early and leave and come and learn the system and get a head start on their college career. Exactly. And so you do that, you do signing day. So it's all this cascading effect to where we're sitting here talking about where Coach Kiffin is going to decide to go. Good for him because, what they always say? You always want at least 2 horses in the race because it drives the price up.
Oh,
now,
prices.
Now the price is sky high and all the talk about, coaches, compensation, all that type of stuff is out the window.
He's got 3 horses in the race right now, plus potential NFL jobs as well. I mean, who knows? This is the biggest announcement since LeBron James said he was going to South Beach.
And I remember that. I was in Cleveland. People's heart was torn out.
Torn out. And then he went back and won the whole thing.
Yeah.
Brought him a title. What a great. Ryan Wingo, most receiving yards of the 4. There were only about 14 guys that had more receiving yards than any of the 4 we picked, but you had the one of the ones we picked that had the most. But what that means,
Jonathan's guy didn't even play.
That's a good point. Benjamin Watson, for the 4th time in his 5 years at the network, has clinched the Saturday Stud Championship.
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations, B-Dub.
That is big time.
Yeah.
Hey, I appreciate you guys.
Everybody
hard work, dedication, discipline.
It would take.
And
It would be.
belief.
It would be a Patriot to just win every
By the way,
freaking year.
he did start at the bottom. He was multiple-time bottom guy.
I was the bottom dweller. Started from the bottom, now we're here.
Yeah, exactly. I could next week, if I win and you finish last, tie you for last. Then we'd both be.
I don't want to be down there with you.
All righty. What else happened? Well, game day in Eugene. USC and Oregon, and by USC I mean Southern California. Oregon could use a loss here. Okay, that would help like a Vandy, help knock out a Big Ten team potentially. Not gonna happen, folks. No, Malik Benson, 85 yards to the hizzy. USC's given up a couple of touchdown returns on punts. 4th quarter.
Don't act like you didn't take some joy in this. Lincoln's defense still looks like the old OU defenses back in the day.
Joy in Lincoln losing? Never. Can't get to the playoff. 42-27, but Oregon very much can. Pittsburgh and Georgia Tech. Tech had a packed house, prime time, and Pitt went up 28-0 on them. Now, Tech could still get into the ACC championship and get to the playoff, but again, this is just more ACC beating up ACC. Who's Pitt got next week, by the way?
Miami.
At Pittsburgh. Pick 6. That's a Pitt 6. Braylon Lovelace.
Georgia Tech didn't lay down, though.
I told you they'd come back, but not enough.
Long run separated out at the end, and Pittsburgh put it on ice.
Out of the footprint stuff happening there. Okay, so here's, what to keep an eye on next week with those rivalry games. Georgia Tech, Florida State. Georgia Tech, by the way, Friday. Kentucky, Louisville, Florida, FSU, Clemson, South Carolina, all Saturday games. Florida State, Florida, who knows? Mike Norvell seat burning up right now. Florida's still looking for a coach. There's a lot of questions all over these programs here. But let's get into Georgia Tech for a minute. 8 overtimes last year. It was an absolute classic.
But this ain't last year. Georgia Tech's defense all of a sudden is giving up 48, 34, and 42 the last 3 weeks. So they're struggling on that side of the ball.
That's fair. And this game, by the way, at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. First time they've played this there, isn't it?
They sold the home game to them.
About 2 miles from where Georgia Tech just played. I look at Georgia, and this is a team that is peaking at the right time. And when you head into the last week of the season, have an opportunity to get your 11th win, opportunity to go possibly to the SEC championship and go beyond. It's about peaking at the right time. Early in the season, Georgia wasn't getting pressure on quarterbacks. They've been doing that more as of late than they did in the beginning. I think Gunnar Stockton has taken a step every single week in how he is making decisions, the plays that he's making. You see playmakers on both sides of the football. So, CD, it's all about when you play your best football. In Georgia, because of Coach Kirby Smart and the rest of the coaching staff, they have this football team in a very, very confident place where they're playing their best football when it matters most. And you're going to need it in this type of a game against Georgia Tech. This is going to be a tough football.
What have we seen as the season's evolved? We've seen the tight end usage go way up since the midway point in the season. They're running the ball more effectively, looking more like a Georgia team of the past. And the defense is starting to be more penetrating up front, disruptive as well. So you're right. I mean, they're rounding into form. Whereas last year, I think they kind of faded down the stretch. They are becoming more that Georgia physical team that we're used to seeing here at the end of the year.
Haynes King did not look overly lethal either. He's been a problem all year. He's like fringe Heisman type conversation, but it wasn't his best outing, wasn't their best outing. Let's look around the country for a minute here at some other scores that could impact the playoff race. BYU beat Cincinnati. Again, could have used a loss there. Vandy could have used a BYU loss. Ohio State, another game that who cares? Play somebody, please. They go to Michigan next week. Miami with the win on the road. Notre Dame, impressive. But Syracuse is awful.
Notre Dame might be number one this week.
Yeah, right. I know. I can't wait for them to. And Michigan gets a win, right? They got Ohio State next week.
You needed that Utah-Kansas State to kind of flip go the other way.
Okay, so this is interesting because Vanderbilt's sitting there at 14, Utah's 11 or 12, Miami's 13, BYU 11. That would have been nice if they lost. They didn't. Utah, though, needs 2 touchdowns in the last 3 minutes at home to beat Kansas State, who's 5-5. And ran the football for almost 500 yards against them. That committee last week was talking about Texas Tech, and they got that great run defense, and we like Notre Dame's run game, and they like to analyze football and use it in their rankings. But if that's the case, why would you not put Vanderbilt ahead of Utah? Vanderbilt demolishes a 5-5 team. Utah needs a miracle comeback and can't stop a 5-5 team.
It'll remain to be seen. I think everything is subjective. I think that's part of the thing that's frustrating about the whole thing is that it's subjective to what the committee thinks. And, even when it comes to head-to-head matchups, sometimes they matter, sometimes they don't, depending on if the team is equivalent or not. So it's an inexact science.
Yeah, I hate the hypocrisy. I also hate that Hunter Yurachek's forced to now take over as the committee chair and speak about things. I know he doesn't believe that he's got to parrot from the rest of the crew there. But this is for Vanderbilt to have the season they're having right now, and to think about them not being in that final 12-team playoff field would be an absolute crime.
See what they do with Notre Dame too. Right.
That's why I was joking, but they love Notre Dame.
Notre Dame's going to get the benefit of the doubt.
If you put them, though, ahead of Oklahoma because they beat Syracuse 70-7 while Oklahoma just beat its 5th AP-ranked team, whatever. But you just, they shouldn't be ahead of Alabama, but they are. How high could they?
And they don't have to play a conference championship game either. No. I mean, one more week and they're...
in the books. You guys
game next week.
You guys do realize that the 12-team playoff was supposed to solve all these arguments.
Yeah, I know.
Well, and we're still having
what the committee's always depended on is things getting cleared up with upsets along the way. We're not having any upsets. I mean, this is chalk every single week.
It could look exactly the same Tuesday as it does right now, with 1 week to go. All right, let's show you this too. These are your scenarios for the SEC championship game going into that final weekend. Now I got to find it because Stewie laid it out. Oh, here it is. All right, so A&M's got the easiest path. Win against Texas and they're in. Not that that's easy. They can also go with losses by Bama and Ole Miss. Bama needs a win over Auburn and an A&M loss, or a win and an Ole Miss loss, or a win in the strength of schedule tiebreaker. Actually, now Bama just needs to win. We have an update here. Stewie, Bama needs to win and they're in. Oh, yeah, if I just read the board instead of the full screen. Bama wins and they're in. A&M wins and they're in. Ball game over. That's it. Easy enough.
We are on to the last week, the big week of the season. Let's go.
I can't believe we're here.
Let's go.
We are here. It's kind of sad, though,
SEC Football Final is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Oh, week 13 is in the books, setting us up for rivalry weekend. Some in play, in conference play, some out. Teams staying alive for the playoff. Maybe some Heisman moments from number 2 in black and gold. Folks, it is SEC Football Final, and it's great to have you with us. Doring, Watson. Let's roll, shall we? You look at Oklahoma, a team that you liked coming into the season.
I did.
Lost to Texas, lost at home to Ole Miss. Who would have ever thought that a few weeks later they'd be 2 wins from a college football playoff berth, but that was the case as Bo Pribula and Missouri made their way to Norman. John Mateer and company know beat Mizzou, beat LSU next week, and the playoff spot will be theirs. Mateer cross to Isaiah Satania, and then it's all wheels.
Yeah, up until this point, the OU offense had negative yards, but Satania quickly erased that. Credit the defense who got a stop, and a special team block of a field goal attempt turned the game around.
Longest play of the season for OU. They were up 7-3. Now 3rd and 10. Mateer